Hi and welcome to Bitrix24 Live. My name's Andy and I'm the support manager here at Gold Partners Interface. And this session is all about answering any questions or queries that you may have with Bitrix. So whether you're using the cloud version of Bitrix or the on-premise version, then we can answer the questions as we go along. So those are our contact details on the screen. We have an office in the US, in the UK and the UAE. Whichever one of those is your local office, then we can get in touch with us and we can offer premium support. We offer any installation queries. We can help with any installation of the on-premise version. We can offer customization, and like I say, we have premium support, which is telephone and ticketing support. So please do put your questions in the box provided on YouTube, and I can answer them as we go along. And also, if you do have any questions in the week, please do send them along to either sales@interface.com or live@interface.com, and we can start the next session with those questions. So let's jump into Bitrix. Like I said, we have the cloud version and the on-premise version on at the moment. So we are in the cloud version on this screen, and we are on the on-premise version on this. So if you do have any questions about the differences, please do ask. I can answer them. So one of the questions that came through during the week was with regards to just the Facebook integration. I think we have covered it once or twice on these sessions before, but essentially there are a number of different methods of connecting Facebook through your Bitrix account. And what it can do is it essentially connects Bitrix to Facebook, so your business page. I have one open on this small tab here. So you can see this is Interface's business page, and it is actually connected to our demonstration site here. So if we go to the contact center, and then if we go to Facebook, then you can see here we have already connected it. There would be a connect button if you hadn't connected it already, and then it would pop up and you would log into Facebook. Then it would show you a list of all the pages that your personal Facebook account manages, and then you can select that business Facebook page and attach it to Bitrix. So you can see here Interface Corp is exactly the same as Interface Corp. So this page is now connected to Bitrix. So once it's connected, then we can put the users in the queue who are going to accept these messages from Facebook in terms of this integration. So what this integration does, this Facebook, it actually integrates with the messenger. So if a customer comes to your business page on Facebook, clicks on send messages, types in hello, then it will send a message through to your account here. So you can see Max Cloud, clicked on the message and you can see it's today. I can click on reply if I wanted to. I could transfer this message through to another member of the team also if I wanted to. And we also have it set that all new Facebook inquiries actually generate a new lead as well. So we'll have a look at that one in a moment. But if I click on reply, then I can say, hi Max. And then if we go through to Facebook, you can see here that we have Hi Max from John Smith. So we can have a conversation with our customers directly on Facebook, and we can discuss. The one thing that Bitrix can't do, and usually would have to request it, is it doesn't pick up this user's email address. So if I wanted to just write, please email me at Andy1234 interface.com. So let's just say that John Smith asked for his email address. Then if I put that in there, you can now see that that email address gets attached to that specific lead. So if then again, if I said, oh, please can you provide a telephone number, again, the information, so if I put that in there as well, then it should say, coming back in through here, and it should again add the email, add the phone number to the lead itself. So you can see how useful that may be. When these inquiries come in as well, we can actually transfer it to another member of the team. Maybe we realise it's a sales inquiry, and you might have just agents answering these inquiries if you get a lot from Facebook. We can also add other people into the chat, so we can bring other agents in to maybe talk with these guys on Facebook. So this is a really useful tool. You never have to leave Bitrix for it. And then once we've finished, we can just finish the conversation, and it drops out of your open channels widget here. So then if we just jump into the CRM and look what that created, then you can see here 2 minutes ago, Max Cloud live chat, and it's given the source of this particular lead to be Facebook. So we can filter out these, and let's just say Facebook. I think it's Facebook. So that's a slightly different source. We must have two sources. I think we have live chat. So you can see here it's Facebook live chat. So we can filter out those if we wanted to. We can click into it, and we can see that it's pulled in the name automatically. It's pulled in the number that they provided, and it's also pulled in the email, and it's come through Facebook Messenger. We can see the history of the chat, so we can click into the chat itself, and we can see the history of the actual chat with the person on Facebook. And then we can continue to I'm not going to go through it at the moment. We've not been asked about this in this session yet. But if we could then progress this lead through a series of different statuses and trigger off automation, which we have covered quite a lot. But if you do have any questions about the automation, please do ask them in the box on YouTube, and I can answer. So yeah, so that's essentially how you can connect your Facebook account, business Facebook account, to Bitrix, so you never have to leave. Bitrix also does have, while we're in here, just have the Instagram, so you can, if you're using Instagram a lot, anybody that's posting messages on your Instagram account, so whether they're commenting to the images that you're putting up, that also comes through the open channel widget, so you can actually reply to those comments on those posts. Actually, in the open channel widget, it will pop up, and you'll be able to see the image that a particular person has commented on, and again, you can reply directly from the open channel widget here. So they are great ways of generating new leads, because each one of these methods can generate a new lead, and it's got quite a lot of other ones in here. So we've got email, website forms, live chat for your own website. So if you are looking for a tool to generate those lead inquiries, then Bitrix offers a very powerful resource to do so. And then the best thing about it is once they're in the CRM, then you can qualify them through a series of different channels on there. So we had a question just with regards to how can I sync my Bitrix contacts to my iPhone or Android. I'm not sure about syncing it to your contacts as such. I mean, if you go to the App Store, so the iTunes or Google Play for the Android. Bitrix does have a mobile application, so you would always have your contacts on the app because in the CRM, the mobile application does have access to the CRM. So if we go into the apps on Bitrix here, so yeah, the App Store here or Google Play, then you can get access to all those contacts. And especially if you have, if you don't have the telephony set up, then you click on a contact, you can ring them directly from your mobile. But if you do actually have the Bitrix telephony set up, then the mobile app actually has a soft phone, so you can dial those contacts directly through your Bitrix telephony service. So that's quite a good tool to have on your mobile. And again, if you are in the queue to answer those calls, and you have Bitrix telephony set up, and then if you've got the mobile app, the calls will come through the app on your mobile as well. So that can be quite handy, especially if you are on the road and you want to still answer the calls that are coming into the office, then yeah, they will come directly through your mobile app. So this is the telephony section for those of you, again, that are fairly new to Bitrix, but you want a telephone service integrated into Bitrix. You can simply rent a number, so you can click in here and you can specify what country, what type of number that is on offer, and what region. And then you have, so if we said, for example, Denmark, we could specify local, specify the area, then it's going to be $6 per month. But you do have to, depending on some locations, you do have to prove your residency there to say the office is in that location. So I would like to ask if it's possible for us to adapt installment payments on deals. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. So installment payments, I mean, you can have in the CRM, you can have reoccurring deals. So if we click into, let's have a look. So we do have reoccurring deals. Sorry, I'm in Leeds at the moment. Let me jump into there. And usually it does say, like, for example, repeat deal here. But we can set a deal to recurring. That might be the installments that you want. So if we clicked into here, repeat regularly, and then it will specify how often you want this deal to repeat. That might be a good way of doing the installments. Yeah, the only other alternative is if you were to have the products that you were assigning to the deal as installment 1, installment 2, you could click on the products tab here, and then we would add an installment option on there to do that. But I would probably say the reoccurring deals is probably your best one, because if it's, for example, a monthly contract, it will create a new deal with whatever value and whatever product is associated to the deal that you create at the start, and it will repeat that deal on those specific dates. Is there a work order for Bitrix chat to allow leaving a small audio clip in a message versus text in the event the sender is not able to write a message in that at that time? So there's no audio available to play on the chat, because the chat is essentially an instant messenger tool. So you would have to, there is, for example, you can specify your working time parameters on the chat itself. So if the inquiry comes through outside of those working parameters, then you can auto send a message back. But if you've been in here, I'm sure you'll have seen it. If we click on configure, and let's just configure our live chat here. So you will have seen that working time, and you can specify auto text reply if it comes out of those given dates and times and holidays. I don't think you'd be able to do a voice because, like I say, it is purely a text-based live chat system. You maybe could do it if you were using a telephony service. So if you're using a telephony service, you can leave an automated voice call. But again, the only other auto actions you've got in here are essentially leaving an auto reply, how long you want to wait, and then the end as well. So canned responses are pretty useful. If you've ever been on the live chat, you can specify in here, click on reply, and then you can have these canned responses here, so you can open up canned responses. I don't think we have too many. In fact, I don't think we have any on this system. But if you click on the canned response, then it will pop up with your automated response on there. So it's if you get asked common questions, obviously. So yeah, I don't think there's any availability to leave a small audio clip, unfortunately. So just going back to the one about the adjustment instalment payments, so which is worth 12,000 and customer wants to pay it in 12 months. Yeah, I mean the only way of doing it, if you wanted to pay $1,000 a month or $3,000 a quarter, then you would set it to repeat that amount of time. I would probably work, if your business works in that way, I would probably have deal stages to be set to however you want it, but then have those trigger certain emails. So if we move it into the first quarter, it's going to send an email saying your first payment's due. Move it into the second quarter and say your second payment's due, and so on and so forth. So I would still do it with the repeat deals though. How to insert the website widget to existing website. Well, I insert website widget code, my existing website's not showing fully. So, I mean, depends what type of website you've got. We have seen issues with the embed code on certain sites. We would normally have to debug that. So maybe send an email. I'll put the contact details up in a moment, but maybe send an email with your website link and we can take a look. But essentially all you're doing with the website widgets, so if we go to the CRM, so when we're referring to website widgets, for those of you that don't know, is we're referring to the live chat, we're referring to inquiry forms and also the callback forms. So the website widgets are in the CRM, click on website widget. And then if we go into one that already exists, so we can see interface.com here, we have live chat, a sales leads form, and a streamlined sales inquiry callback form. So you would create that first. So let's just click into the edit and let's just see what it looks like. So you can see here we have the live chat. And again, going back to the question that was put before about automated responses, we can configure the work time parameters on this. So if it's out of those hours, we can send automated messages back. We also have the CRM form switched on here. We can specify which form that we want to use from our CRM forms. And then finally, we have our callback forms. So when you create a CRM form, there is a checkbox at the bottom of the CRM form that specifies whether you want to make that form a callback form. If you've checked that box, then they will appear in here. If not, they'll appear in the CRM form. So once you've set that and specified the preferences of color and location, the question with regards to it's not showing, you essentially need to put that copy to clipboard and try and place this widget in just before the closing body tag of your HTML. So if you have a WordPress site, for example, go to your template folder and find the footer file and then paste, maybe if you've got a chart theme, maybe copy that footer and put it into your child theme so it's not overridden by updates. But then paste this into the footer code of your footer template. So that's probably, yeah, if there is a problem, then it can sometimes clash with other plugins that you may have or code. So I'll just put the contact details up for the moment. Please do send us an email. Send me an email with regards to that one. So just send it to andy@intraface.com and I'll be able to take a look at your site and I'll be able to tell you if there is any conflicts with anything that's currently on your site affecting the displaying of the widget. Okay. So those are our contact details. So we've got, can I auto hide all the completed tasks in the Kanban of a project? Yes, that's just a matter of filtering. So if we click into a project itself and click into, so this is an external project. Let's see if we've got, here we go. So if we're in the Kanban view here, then essentially if you've made a column that's called completed, then essentially it doesn't mean that it's completed unless you have an automation rule that marks the status as completed. So don't confuse if you've marked a stage as completed, the task isn't actually complete. So we need to go to filter, and there is an in progress filter as standard, I do believe is default. So you can see here it will automatically get rid of any completed tasks. So these are the ones that are in progress. You can change this, you can add, so it may be pending. I think that's probably what we would want to do. Click on here, and you can see all the tasks that aren't being completed. You can't do if not, so you can't say if not completed. You would just have to include all the other statuses that you want, maybe you want to keep in conferred. If you want to save that status, so if you want to save that status in here, just click on, or so let's go click not completed. And then next time when you come to your project, just come in here, click not completed, and it will therefore show you. So if I just uncheck that, you can see here we had completed task. That will then disappear once we filter it out. So it's all about filtering, really. Yeah. So after a one deal, we can generate a renewal deal with an automation in another pipeline. However, is it possible to change the value of the products in the automatically generated renewal deal? So I don't believe in the automation at the moment, especially on the cloud. You can alter the products themselves in the automation rules. You can update the value of the deal itself. You should be able to, in the automation there is an edit document, and I believe you'll be able to change the amount, but it's not the amount of each individual product in there. I don't think, I've not seen it recently where you can, so click on configure, click on add. So let's just say this goes into a new pipeline, it will be on the new stage. If we click on edit document, then this basically means that you can edit the deal. So all we need to do is find, I think, income, and we can update the value of the deal to be whatever it is. We can't, there won't be a deal, there won't be any product information, I don't believe at the moment. If you're on premise, you can use the PHP block in the workflow designer. So if I click into edit in workflow designer, there is on the on-premise version a PHP code, and you can actually get the information, information about the products, and you can actually update individual elements of the product. So it may be that you may want to take a look at the on-premise version if that's something that is needed. Otherwise, if you're on the cloud, just have a look at that edit document and change the value of the deal itself. Can HTML or BB code be used in the tasks within the business process or automation? What areas in automation can take HTML and BB code? Yes, good question. Let's just take a look. I know that if you're doing workflow assignments, that takes BB code. I do believe that in a new task, so in our East Coast, let's just take a quick look. So let's just have a look. Let's just have a look at the two different ones. Let's paste that into there now. So we'll try HTML first, so we'll call that HTML. And then we'll try BB code. So BB code is a little bit different. If you're not aware of BB code, so notifications take BB code. Like I mentioned, the assignments take BB code. I think, in all honesty, tasks take HTML, but we can try this now. So let's just put here equals. Close that one and just put BB code, and then close the URL. BB code. And we'll make it responsible myself. So let's just test this. So we've got that task there in the looking good status. Click on save, and then so we're in the East Coast pipeline. Let's have a look and then move it into, we're in the East Coast pipeline, move it to looking good. Click on save. So you can see a new task has been created. Let's click on that link. And then behind it, oh yeah, so it's BB code. So I thought it was HTML. So BB code works in the tasks. So you click on here, and that will open up our automation where we were a moment ago. So I think, in all honesty, BB code works throughout all the automation. If you are new to BB code, then I think best thing to do is just type there, and then you just type in the tag to reference. And that's essentially what you can use to style up different elements of it. So there's quite a lot. And you can put images, you can do tables, videos. So certainly, definitely a handy way in your automation, in your tasks. So just going back to the point you made earlier. So we are using the on-prem version. We couldn't reach the related REST API documents. Are there any? We are able to find them for the cloud. Yeah, there certainly is. So as I mentioned earlier to the other person, please do send me an email to Andy Interface. If you just put the subject as API docs for on-premise, I can send you a link to everything that's on there. The on-premise certainly has an open API, so you can certainly use it. And yeah, you should be able to get the product information that you need to on that. So that's quite handy. So yeah, do please drop me an email and I can send over the necessary information with regards to that documentation for it. So as I mentioned, these are our contact details. If you have any questions throughout the week, please do send us an email to sales@intraface.com and we can start the next session. So we're here every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern and we can answer any questions that you may have for the entire hour. If we don't have too many questions, then sometimes it lasts 45 minutes, so please do get them over to us. And All these sessions are recorded as well, put on the Bitrix24 YouTube channel. So if you joined me halfway through, then you may want to just have a check back at what was answered in the first session once it gets uploaded to YouTube. So I've got a question. The Facebook chat seems to only be working on the website and not directly via Facebook site. Why is that? Why is it that it does that? So I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I mean, if you were here at the start of the session, we spoke about the Facebook chat working via Facebook, so we closed this one out, but this works simply by going to the contact center and connecting everything up. I'd probably recommend having a look once the video gets uploaded back at that. I'm not going to go through it because we've been through the Facebook integration already, but you should have a live chat, or you can put, if you put the live chat, or if you want your Facebook chat on your website, it's completely up to you. I think they use the Messenger tool now for live chat on your website. But yeah, you shouldn't have any issues. If you do, like I say, get in touch with us. It's very difficult to debug if you're having a few technical issues. These sessions are generally used to point you in the right direction if you're struggling with creating something or knowing where something is inside Bitrix. So we've got, thank you, how to hide the hidden fields in the CRM. Sorry, so how to unhide the hidden fields in the CRM. So it's quite straightforward really. In the CRM, in each of the sections, you can show and hide fields, so standard fields and custom fields. So let's go into a contact and then click into a contact here. Then if we were to, let's just say for location, we want to hide it. So click on here and click on hide. Once it disappears, I'm in common view here, so this is a good point to note. Common view, as an administrator, you can hide and show all the fields that you want to. You can move them around, so you can move the fields, like I say, as an administrator in here. And then the good thing about that is that when a normal user, so one of your sales agents, comes into the CRM, they will see the layout that you've set in the common view. They won't be able to show and hide fields in the common view. They won't be able to change titles of sections. These pencils won't appear. So they won't be able to move fields. So it's pretty fixed. It's a good way of setting the layout of your CRM up before your sales agents come in. Make sure they see all the information that they want to see. Just to point out, I'll come back to the hidden question in a moment, but just to point out, when you're in the common view and you've set everything up, click on the little gear icon at the top here and set common form for all users. This is an administration option. You will not see that if you're a normal user on the system. But what you do, you click on that and it will push out this layout in the common view for all your users. Okay. So I just wanted to point out that while we're in here. So this is the same for each of the CRM elements. So whether you've got in a contact, in a company, in a lead, in a deal, you can do the same. So going back to the question, how do you unhide the hidden fields in the CRM? It's quite easy really, just click on select field at the bottom. I think I clicked on location, so location appears at the bottom here. So you'll be able to pull it back up. One other important how Bitrix tends to work is if we were to have not selected, let's just click on show always. So if we could not selected, how Bitrix works in terms of displaying its content in the CRM is that by default, hidden fields are hidden. So empty fields are hidden. So what that means is that it's not going to take up a lot of space if you've got a lot of empty fields. Now, if you want them to show like this one is doing at the moment, so to make sure that people are aware that there's no data in this field, you can click on the gear icon and click on show always. Doing so makes it a little bit easier to edit, I must admit. So if you click on the field is empty in the location, then you don't have to go via the method of clicking on change and then filling in the fields on here. So you can see it's still there, but if I clicked on Messenger now, Messenger will now show up if it is displayed. So it is there. So Messenger is now showing up in here. So we've talked about the API. I can search text in a document which converted. But if the document was scanned into a PDF or image, I can't search the text. Yeah, I don't think that would be possible, unfortunately. So yes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why the quality. Not had any other messages about that. Yeah, so no OCR optical character recognition function. It wouldn't seem so. I've not come across that before, so I'm not too familiar if it was capable. If you scanned in a PDF, I guess it would have to be PDF format. So for those of you that have got a couple of bugs on your site, like I mentioned, or for the request for API documentation, please do drop me an email and I'll come back to you today. And if it's the website one that was, I think chat wasn't working, then we can have a look why that may be. So please do get in touch. Andy@interface.com. If you are looking for any implementation or customization of Bitrix, or you need training, again we have find your local office on here and we can arrange that, whether it's online training or at your office, or you want to come to our offices, that's absolutely fine. We offer that training. We also offer telephone support, ticketing support for our support customers. So you can speak to somebody on the end of the phone if you do need any answers to any queries. Or the alternative is these sessions every Thursday at 10 AM Eastern Time. We also have webinars that focus solely on specific areas of Bitrix. So we have webinars on the CRM, maybe Bitrix24 sites. We'll have a look at that in a moment because a question did come through about the sites. We also have telephony. So those are literally dedicated hour webinars that we go through about the pros and cons and how they work in the system. So those are every Monday at 11 AM. If you want to register, go to interface.com/webinars, then you can register for those on there to choose which one you wish. Okay, so we had a question about, well, a couple of questions in the week. They are quite straightforward, just with regards to putting your analytics package on your Bitrix24 site, and also with regards to adding code into your site as well. So if you wanted, I think it was JavaScript code that they wanted to put into their site, then you can do so. You can do that. So let's just jump into our cloud version, and everything that I've shown you today is possible on both the cloud and the self-hosted. But if we click into our sites, so click into the sites menu link here. So sites is a module where you can build your own custom website. So whether it's a one-page site or a multi-page full site, you can do so. You can even do that on the free account. I think the free account allows you to build one site, I do believe, and then once you start going to the commercial packages, you can build up 5 or 10 or unlimited sites. So people tend to build landing pages for different marketing campaigns, so you can do so in this. But the question really that came through in the week was with regards to adding analytics. So it's quite easy. If you go into, when you're setting up your site, if you click on the configure site on here, then scroll down and you can add your Google Analytics here and Google Tag Manager. And if you've got tracking pixels from Facebook, you can also add them here as well. So this is on a whole site basis. So this is adding analytics and Facebook pixels, tracking pixels to a site. You can actually add tracking pixels, I do believe. I don't know too much about them, but if we click on view pages in a full site, you can actually click on edit settings for a particular page, and I do believe that you can add Facebook tracking pixels on a particular page if you wanted to. So if you're marketing on Facebook and you're directing people to a specific page on a website you've created in Bitrix, you can add the necessary tracking information on here. So it's quite useful to do. So that was about analytics. The other question was with regards to adding JavaScript into a particular site. So if we click on edit on the cake shop, we'll go to the site itself. And then what we can do is have a look at, so this is the builder tool. So I'm editing this site at the moment. And like I say, this is a multi-page site. So you can see this is the particular template we want to edit. We want to edit some, let's just add some JavaScript code in a particular section. Click on add block. Then click on other. And then this is where you can add it. So just add HTML code, click on here, and then you'll be able to add it add in here. So it's as simple as that really. It's just in the other section. I think it has been asked before, but it's just a little bit hidden away. So hopefully you find that useful. You can put anything you want in there in terms of your own HTML. But while we're in here, I don't think any other questions have come through at the moment, but while we're in here, it's definitely a good way of utilising especially using landing pages for maybe your CRM marketing campaigns, creating a landing page. And then because what you can do on here is quickly and easily embed your own CRM forms in here. So you can see we've added an embed form in here, a CRM form. Then you can see on here, if we scroll down, which CRM form we are using. So manage CRM forms. At the moment we're using the CRM form for cake recipes, but it'll give you access to every CRM form that you've created. So that's quite handy to have. So once we can, so if you ever want to add a new block for a CRM form, then you can do so by clicking on CRM form. Then it'll give you different styles of CRM forms. So think on ours, on this one, in the background, we've used this one here. So you can change the background image and change the form. So we've got a question, can you please show us how to use the upload to drive on business processes? We built a workflow, but we weren't able to build the upload to drive function. Failed to upload to drive. Yes, certainly. So let's go on to our, and what we'll do is we'll create a manual business process that, we can create, let's create a process in a contact, in a workflow here. We'll have a manual run process on a contact, and we'll just call it upload to drive. And then we'll check off, and then we'll run this manually. What we'll do is we'll have a parameter that pops up, and we'll call this file, and we'll give it a file here. So I've had a parameter, essentially what's going to pop up in the form that when we manually run this on a contact. So that's the file type, yes. Click on here, and then what we're going to do is upload to drive. So when you upload to drive, essentially all it's doing is it's going to take that file and upload it to the destination where you want it to. There's different types of drive. So social network is a work group. Public drive is something like the public drive. I'm trying to think. Drive folder will be something like in the company drive. Public drive, I'm not 100% sure. But what we can do here is we'll select a workgroup drive, click on BizTech project, and then the file to upload is going to be in our template parameters. Click on file, and we can upload it as John Smith. And so that's fairly straightforward. All that will do is when it runs, is it will upload it to the BizTech. So if we click on apply, and I'll show you a different method in a moment. But if we click on here, open up. So we go into our contacts. And like I said, this is recorded as well if you need to run through it again. If you go into our workflow tool, upload to drive will pop up with a file. Click on here, and let's just click on Black Friday. Click on start. You can see that the workflow has ended. And then if I go into BizTech project, then we go into the drive, you should see the file Black Friday. So that's how you would use that in that context. One of the good ones, if we just run through a couple of these, is one that we've used quite a bit. If we go into other, create a new work group. Let's just call this Bitrix24 Drive. I'll have me as the owner. We can put some members in it another time. Click on save. Put a couple in. Click on save. Now what you can actually do here, so you've created a work group in a workflow. You can actually specify, let's actually create a folder first of all. So we'll create a folder on a drive. So we could say social network group drive, and then click on the three dots. We don't want to see one that's already existing. What we actually want to do is use the group drive that we've just created a work group for. So add to work group, and we'll give it a name. So we could say promotions, created by myself. I'm logged in as John Smith here. Add to new work group, and then click on upload to drive. And we can click in drive folder. And in the folder, we can click in here, click in additional results, and click into drive folder. So click on save. So let's just see what that will be called. Click on apply. Then if I go into contacts and run this again, go into Mark Moon this time. And then let's just go into July newsletter. Click on start. You can now see that it's created the work group. So if I go into work groups, that's the first thing it should have done. Bitrix24 live drive. Should have created a folder in this specific work group called promotions, which it did 19 seconds ago. And hopefully we see the email template, July newsletter in here. So it's all about using the predefined IDs that have been selected in the first block. So that's generally how you would do it. So we've created a work group, used the work group ID in creating a folder inside that work group, and then we've used that newly created folder ID to assign this document to that. So hopefully that helps you. If you, just to point out, if you're using the lead on deal automation and you want to use some of these tools, because for example, create new work group, I don't believe is available in the automation rules, but you want to do it when a deal hits a specific stage in the automation rules. You can do that by clicking on automation rules here, and let's just say when it hits deal 1, you want to create a new work group, you want to create that folder, you want to assign that file to that particular folder. Click on configure automation rules, click off create invoice, and instead click into edit in workflow designer, and then that's when you can use the edit in workflow designer tool, which you get access to quite a lot more of the action blocks. So you can see this is what it looks like in the background of the automation rules. So you can click into there, and then you can do exactly what we just did a moment ago. And then this will only trigger when that deal stage hits 1, or if you put it in another stage, whenever that deal hits that particular stage. So if I wanted to create that, bring it into here, every time it went into 1, it would set whatever parameters that you've got in this particular stage. So hopefully that helps. I think in terms of time, we've sort of run out of time. So as I mentioned a couple of times throughout this session, we have this every Thursday at 10 AM Eastern time, and it lasts an hour. And do please get your questions in prior. Everything's recorded, so this will be live on the YouTube channel quite soon, on Bitrix24 YouTube channel. And then, so if you are interested in the webinars, they are on every Monday at 11 AM Eastern. But to those people that did have a few bugs on their site, again, email me, Andy at Intraface, that's ANDY, at intraface.com. So that's how you spell it. It's a little bit different. So send those queries across, and I should be able to help you out. Well, hopefully that's been useful. Thank you very much for your time, and see you next time.